Welcome to Recurring Nightmares, episode 69. Uh, this is how we win, Chris. We have a special episode, non-horror episode of two of my favorite movies. They're both kind of gambling related, about kind of crime thrillers about gambling addiction, people getting in over their heads. Uh, so I'm excited to talk about these movies. I love both of them. We'll see what Chris thought of them. But first, as always, Chris, how you doing? And what you been watching, bro?
I'm doing all right. I don't have a lot to talk about. Talk about three things. One of the last movies I saw of the year was the third Ryan Johnson Knives Out movie, Wake
Yeah,
Up,
yeah.
Wake Up, Dead Man. I really like this movie quite a bit. I think it's much better than Glass Onion, which I didn't love. Like I thought it was good, but I didn't love it. And it doesn't quite have like the biting humor of the first one, but I think there's like way more heart here, and the
Yeah.
characters are interesting, and like the mystery is cool. Like, but it's really the characters, like this small town that is all at this one church. They're all kind of like this whole congregation is all tied up in this, and they're all interesting characters. And the main character, uh, this priest, he's an interesting guy, and Josh Brolin plays this like whacked out pastor of the church, who's maybe even more crazy than anybody in the movie. And it's a good time. I thought it was really well done. I enjoy seeing Daniel Craig with as this detective Benoit Blanc, um, and Ryan Johnson can continue to like pump these out every couple of years. I'm cool with that. Like it's neat having a contemporary kind of, we haven't had like a Sherlock Holmes or a Hercule Poirot. So they make movies of those people, but we don't have like a contemporary version of them. And I think Benoit Blanc is quickly becoming, this contemporary detective, goes on like cool mysteries. And
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was really fun.
Kind of agree with a lot of what you said. Like I did not like Glass Onion, I don't think really at all. And I did not miss the humor here. Like I mean, there's humor here, but
Yeah, it's not like the first movie was I think very funny. Um, this is not like, it's not that it's not funny. There are like absurd things, there's humor, but it's a more reserved kind of approach to it. And
it's kind of about something like
yeah,
before even like it takes its time to get to the murder mystery. And I could have had like a whole movie about these like two dueling priests. Like I
yep,
was into the story to begin with, and I think what helps a lot is that the main character, the actor Josh O'Connor, I think is really good. He was great in Challengers, and he's starting to show up in a bunch of stuff, and he was really good in this. Like I thought he was really good as the lead. So
yep, yep.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Um, Another one that I went out and saw this. I think it was maybe the second day of the year. Uh, Brand new film, released on the second, called We Bury the Dead. It's Daisy Ridley. It's a zombie movie. Takes place in Australia. Premises that the U.S. has detonated some experimental weapon accidentally off the shore of uh, Tasmania, I believe, and instantly kills 500,000 people. Like, just decimates the whole like southern east coast of this small country, destroys cities. So there has to be a big effort to clean everything up. Daisy Ridley joins this cleanup crew because her husband was there. you find out quickly that the reason she's done this is because there are rumors that some people are coming back from the dead. They are supposedly docile, uh, and she thinks that like, oh, well, if I can get to him, I can save him, or we can have closure or something. Uh, it relies on some like standard zombie shit towards the end, but I think like it has a cool premise here, that she's dealing, and you don't find this out until the end, but she's dealing with some guilt over her last interaction with her husband. That's why she's specifically doing this, and she wants to
He
have
just wants to
closure
find
with
his
him
she wants to find a zombie and
and have closure.
hash it
Like,
out. Yeah.
yeah. Um, it also ends up with, so like the core premise is that the dead are coming back. The dead that do come back have something left to do in the world. Um, and that could be anything. And she was hoping like
So
he still wants to talk with me. He still wants to hash things out. Like,
so like ghosts, they like want something solved or like
kind
some.
of,
Oh my
but
god.
they're physical. Like they're
Yeah, I
physically
know, I know. I'm,
there.
I'm saying they
Yeah,
operate like ghosts
kind of.
do
Yes, like they've
in
come
movies.
back. So, and I think the cool piece of it is there's this one lady you see, she's pregnant, um, and Daisy Ridley kind of like runs away from her, but the reason that she has come back is to give birth to this baby. So that's kind of how the movie ends. And that's kind of a crux of the whole thing. Is Daisy Ridley wanted a kid, her husband didn't, then she cheated on her husband, blah blah blah, like, and she felt bad about it, so she wanted closure. And this other zombie like gives birth to a baby. And so she gets the baby at the end. There's something here. It's not particularly great. It is short. I think it where it's worst is, and it just relies on like standard zombie shit. So like, you know, a zombie chases Daisy Ridley through like a bus, that's been flipped over at one point, and there's like another attack at another point, and it's there are good ideas here. It's just not a great film, and it kind of drags a little bit, even though it's only 90 minutes
Hmm.
long. But it was out there. I was like, hey, I want to go see something new. I like Daisy Ridley. She's actually pretty good in this, and I will likely have forgotten I've seen it, by the middle of the month. So,
Yeah.
like, and the only other thing that I really saw was, we finished up Stranger Things, went and saw it in the theater with my daughters. The finale.
You like
Uh,
marathon Stranger Things, right? Like,
yeah, it's like, well, I like caught up on season 3 over like November, and then season 4 early in December, and then season 5 came out, and it was like I kind of had to keep pace with it because we were going to see this thing on New Year's
mhm.
Day, so I had to like catch up to the end. I thought the finale was good. I thought it was enjoyable and fun. I was satisfied with it. I know lots of people aren't. My kids
Mhm.
seem to enjoy it. The crowd we saw it with in the theater also seemed to enjoy it quite a lot. Um, and I don't know if they went home and then they started buying into this nonsense theory that today specifically they were gonna drop the actual finale. Um, that did not happen. Netflix was teasing something for today, and it did have Millie Bobby Brown in it. But it was just kind of like a, hey, Stranger Things has ended. What's next for you on Netflix? And it was like a series of like stuff that's coming out in the next like 6 months. Like, but people really were like, oh, like the real ending is coming, and it's like, man, like this is the real ending. Like the it's not super happy. It's not, but it's not sad either. Like, things happen, and that's just how it ended. Like, I didn't think it was bad. I think they give resolution to all the characters that you want to have resolution to. And then they leave some stuff open that's like, hey, maybe this happened. Maybe it didn't, but maybe it did. And I think people really just want shit spoon fed to them completely and don't want to leave it open for conversation or discussion. And so, like, the fact that there is some ambiguity in like what may have happened with certain characters, they aren't satisfied with that. They want the Duffer Brothers to fully explain what happened with 11, what happened with these characters. And no, like the story is meant to be that way. Like you're left it's left to you either believe or you don't. Like that was kind of what the whole message of the finale was. But I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I think I think the entire series as a whole is worth watching. But season 2 and 4 are not good. Like they're not awful, but they're
So
not good. Like
you thought season 5 was better than season 4?
yes,
Okay.
and I know people are like, oh, but season 4 had like there's you probably seen it. Like there's the
I've seen
Metallica
season 4.
thing, and yeah, so you've seen. So like there's like an episode there where this guy Eddie dies, and I think it's a
Oh
really
yeah.
good episode. But people love that episode, and I think that elevates for some people for up to like a higher plateau than like some of the other seasons. But it's like I don't know, one episode doesn't elevate an entire season of like nonsense to me. Like I did
Yeah.
not enjoy season 4 at all. So
Well, like I have not touched season 5 because I was just so done with it by the end of season 4. And like honestly, I think I was done with it since like season 1. Like I thought season 1 was cool. It was like a new idea. Well, not a new idea, but it was kind
yeah,
of mining all the shit from our childhoods. But that was like that was good. And then like season 2, I was like, it's okay. Season 3, it's okay. Season 4, that was okay. I'm like, why am I still watching this? Like like I haven't
yeah.
not like been in love with it since the first season, and so I cannot like, especially after that fucking
If
fourth season.
if my kids hadn't been like they got into it, I don't know where. Like it wasn't for me.
It's real popular among younger people. Like,
Yeah, so like they got into it, and I was like, well, I mean, I do like horror, and like the fact that they were interested in something
no, that makes
adjacent,
sense.
I
Yeah,
was like, I want to go to a movie with you that's kind of like horror adjacent because you
like
guys
a
won't,
vent. Yeah,
yeah, you won't go to horror films with me. But, so, yeah, I thought that was fun, and like that was really the only reason I did it. But ultimately, I thought, you know, maybe they didn't hit it out of the park, but it was a solid hit. Like I thought the final season ultimately works. The finale works. The actual ending, I think, works real well. So yeah, I'm surprised you didn't like season 3 more. I thought season 3 was like a huge step up from season 2.
I
Um,
mean, I don't remember season 2, so there's that. But like, I just like by season 3, I felt like I was force feeding myself the show. Like I'm just like, I don't really want
yeah,
to watch
yeah,
this. Like how you are with the TV show, where you're like over the TV show, but you're like, I've watched so much, and that's why I feel like I should finish Stranger Things because I spent so much time
right.
watching the, But it really felt forced for me to get through any season really after the first. So
And I'll say this about, I mean, season 5 is only 8 episodes. Um, season 4 had like multiple episodes that were like 80, 90 minutes long.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah,
I think the only episode that runs that long in season 5 is the finale. Like, and it's just like about 2 hours, I think. But everything else is like a little over an hour, but not like it doesn't extend out. And that was something I thought with season 4. I'm like, Jesus Christ, these episodes just won't end. Like they just
yeah.
keep going, and I don't care about the story that's happening here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I was up to at the end of 2025 and early in 2026. Outside of what we watched for this, so
Yeah. We'll get to those in a second. I got a few things here.
yeah,
I got a couple movies. I saw Begonia, which have you seen
Mm.
that yet?
No, that is one I am interested in seeing because I do love Emma Stone. And
She's great.
what was the last movie I think I watched? Was that the one with Willem Dafoe and Emma Stone and like the kind of Frankensteinish thing
Yeah,
where
Poor Things.
yeah, I like
Yeah,
that quite a bit. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I like this guy as a whole, but I did like that movie. So
So yeah, I've seen a few Yorgos Lanthimos movies now, and the first one that I ever really liked was Poor Things, which I loved. And now he's got two because I liked this. I liked it quite a bit.
okay,
Um, I the premise is like Jesse Plemons is a conspiracy theorist who thinks that Emma Stone, who is like a you know like a CEO, he thinks like she's like an alien who's like controlling the world, and he kidnaps her, takes her to his house and his basement, and he's torturing her and stuff, and basically trying to get her to like admit that she's an alien so that he could be invited onto her mothership to negotiate a deal between humans and the aliens so that they'll leave us alone and let the human race thrive again.
okay,
Because he sees all the problems in the world that we're having right now, and he's like, it's because they're holding us down. It's like, um, and like what I loved about it is it's kind of like this battle of wits between them because she's in this like impossible situation, and she has to like figure out what can I say to this guy to let him like let me go. And that whole part, like first off, their performances and the performances of this other guy who's like his sidekick are all really good. And I thought that the battle of wits between them was like better than I expected going in. I didn't like the ending of the movie, but that's like a discussion for another day. I don't want to even touch that. But I think the ending of the movie brought it down a bit for me. But up until then, I thought it was pretty great.
okay.
Um, I saw a movie that came out of nowhere for me that I absolutely fell in love with called Ephus. Um, that is like it's an independent film. They got some notice from critics and it kind of flew under the radar though for the most part. And the premise of Ephus is very simple. It is a group of middle-aged men who play baseball together, and the field that they've been playing at for years is going to get torn down to build a school. And so basically with the movie, what you're watching is them play their last baseball game that they'll basically ever play. They like know, like they mentioned a few times in the movie, oh, we could go over to whatever the neighboring town is, and they're like, that's too far a drive, and fuck that field. That field sucks. Like this is basically it for them.
Hmm.
And the movie doesn't really have a plot beyond that. It doesn't have character arcs. It's a total hangout movie, much like a Richard Linklater movie, like Dazed and Confused, where it's just like one day in these people's lives. But you're seeing what is a significant day for them because it's something that they love coming to an end. And but the movie is like mostly it's just these guys like busting each other's balls and making jokes, and it's very funny. Like it's funny throughout the whole movie, but like underneath the funniness is like this very like powerful sadness where you're just like, because the whole thing is kind of a metaphor for growing old and how things that you thought were always be there one day are going to go away. And they use the game of baseball as a metaphor for that too. Like, there's a character who at one point is like, that's baseball game is like you're sitting there, you're waiting and waiting for something to happen. Like it feels like the game's going on forever, and next thing you know, it's over. And it's they don't like connect that like you're supposed to connect it in your head. Like he's talking about life. I thought this movie was fantastic. I like really really loved it.
Nice.
Yeah, it like shot right onto my top 10 list. It fucked up my top 10 list. Really great. One weird note about EFIS, which relates to the movies we're going to talk to you about tonight. Very randomly, two of the actors from Uncut Gems are in EFIS. And they're both guys who are like not been in like Uncut Gems was basically like their first role, and they're both in this. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is the connection there? It's the do you remember the eccentric millionaire from like near the end of Uncut Gems?
Yeah, the one that's on the helicopter with
Yeah,
yep.
he shows up in this for like a minute, but then but also one of the main thug from Uncut Gems is like one of the main baseball players in this movie, and it's
Oh,
very different role like in performance from him. Really
neat.
random thing to note, but I just like
Yeah.
it's so weird because like I looked at their filmographies and it's like basically that's it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like
One
maybe
like
this director really liked Uncut Gems and like
the millionaire guy, Wayne Diamond, he's like actually like a fashion designer or something, and
he's like a real that's something we'll talk about when we talk about Uncut Gems because one awesome thing that the Safdie brothers love to do is put like real people in the movies or like people real people who aren't actors, stuff like that, and they somehow get like pretty cool performances out of them and stuff. So
Mhm.
we'll touch on that when we get there. But yeah, EFIS, I can't recommend it enough. It's like a $4 rental. I took a chance and bought it, and the full price was like $15. I don't regret it at all because I know I'll watch it again at some point. Uh, yeah, it's a movie that's like really lingered in my head, and like for as funny as it is, it's like super heartbreaking. Like, and I'll give you just an example of the humor and the sadness in it. Like there's a guy, he's in outfield. Like one of the outfielders, like these two random kids, like walk up and start fucking with him, and they're like, "Hey, do you have the time?" He's like, "Yeah, it's time for you to fuck off." Yeah, like, go fucking bother the guys playing soccer on the other field over, or like, there's one part this game is going on forever, and the sun's starting to set, and one of the guys in the dugout's like, "Man, I've never seen anything as beautiful as a sunset with a fat guy trying to steal second base." Like I don't know, there's just like it's just guys the way guys talk when they're together. It's just it's all humor.
Yeah.
But then like there's a fucking like 90-year-old guy just sitting there by himself watching them play this game. And at one point the bases are loaded and he's like, "Honey, like you might want to tell the grandkids like the bases are loaded. They might want to see this." He's talking to nobody. There's nobody there. And that's not played for a laugh. That's played for like it's really sad. Like, what's his story? Like, he thinks he's talking to his wife who's probably dead.
Yeah.
There's another guy who's also older watching the game. Not as old. He's like in his 60s or so. He's watching the game and he's just filling out a scorecard the whole game. And like you could just tell he kind of lives for this shit. And there's one point where the ump leaves the game and they ask him like, "Hey man, can you ump?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can do it." Like, he's like, this is his moment. Like, yeah, it's really good, dude. I really recommend it. Again, it's a cheap rental. I think one of the best movies of last year.
Nice.
And I want to do a quick little lightning round of like things that all kind of tie together, and I'll be quick with these. But I forgot to on our last episode mention the best thing that I saw last month, which was this mini series on Netflix called Death by Lightning. Have you heard of this or watched this?
No.
So this is a 4-episode miniseries, and that's it. And it tells the true story of our 20th president. I think his name is Andrew Garfield. I want to say he was elected in like 1880. He served as president for 3 months before being assassinated. And they tell you this right at the front of the first episode. They're like, "We're about to tell you the story of two guys who the world forgot. One of them was the president of the United States, and the other one was the guy who shot him." And that's what you get over the story of these 4 episodes with a fucking stacked cast. Michael Shannon is the president. Shea Wiggum is like a corrupt New York politician. Why can't I not think of his fucking Nick Offerman?
Yep.
Is the vice president, like a corrupt and drunk vice president. The guy who kills the president is played by, God damn it, I can't remember the actor's name, but he's Tom from Succession. and more, like you'll see a bunch of people on this and just like, God damn, this is like such a stacked cast. It looks great. It looks like a big budget, period movie.
Yeah.
But what really like one, it does a really good job of feeling very modern and fast paced. It doesn't feel like a period piece, and including like all sorts. There's like orgies in it and stuff. Like it's pretty R rated. But what like really drew me in was I got to the end of the first episode and I was like, okay, that was pretty cool, but that seems like made up for TV. Like doesn't seem like what would like a thing that would actually happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first episode is Michael Shannon, Andrew Garfield. I want to say his name is Andrew Garfield. Anyway, he goes to the Republican National Convention and he's basically there to give a speech to like nominate one of his colleagues. Like, he's like, I'm going to give this speech for you to help you get you the nomination. And he goes and gives a speech that's so good that slowly, like, his buddy cannot get enough votes for the nomination, but it slowly turns just like in the movie Enclave, where like he starts getting votes, and I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Nope, I looked it up. That's exactly what happened, and I was just, and like, as far as I could tell off of reading Wikipedia, like, yeah, this is like mostly true, and it's like it's just an insane, it's insane. That's a true story, and one that I never heard. I mean, I'm not like the hugest history buff, but like I'd never heard any of this shit.
Mm.
I didn't even know there was an assassinated president named Andrew Garfield or whatever. And that kind of sent me down like a rabbit hole, or like I briefly got into like super into history shit. It's like right after that, I watched a 6-hour Hitler documentary on Netflix. In fact, I think it popped up as like, you might also want to watch this or whatever. So that was good. It was like called Hitler and I think it's called Hitler and the Nazis, The Rise of Evil, or something. If you search Hitler on Netflix, it'll come up.
Yeah.
It's like a 6-episode documentary from director Joe Berlinger, who did like the pretty famous Paradise Lost documentaries in the 2000s, I want to say, about the Satanic Panic stuff.
Yep.
Good. It's feels pretty comprehensive, talking about starting from Hitler as a youth and him being a soldier in World War I and how that affected him all the way through Nuremberg and all that. So I really liked that, and then I was like pretty keen to watch this new Nuremberg movie that slipped into theaters in December. Which how
was that?
It was weird. Like, I don't know. Like I was very excited to watch it. So I missed it in theaters. As soon as it hit digital, I just bought it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna love this. I'm in like this history moment, like this history binge, and it's not like terrible, but there's just something weird about the whole thing. Russell Crowe plays Goring. I forgot how to say the guy's name. Like Hitler's second in command, and it's him getting put on trial at Nuremberg, and he's really great in it. Russell Crowe. You have Rami Malek. Like Rami Malek's like the main character, and he's like this psychiatrist who goes there to evaluate whether they're like sane to stand trial.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole movie kind of follows him, but it's just like, he's like, I gotta like outsmart this guy. I gotta do this and that. I'm like, I don't know. The movie does a bad job of explaining like why we're following this guy instead of like, I don't know, one of the prosecutors that are, you know what I mean? Like, or
right,
like,
yeah.
or like literally anybody. Like, there's a side character who's like involved, like he's kind of helping the psychiatrist, and you find out like he has personal stakes, like his family was killed in the Holocaust, and he like wants to see these motherfuckers die. I'm like, why was the movie not about that guy? And that guy gave like a great performance, and Rami Malek's doing his weird bug-eye shit. Like, very something weird about it, dude. Like, it's not like terrible or anything. I wasn't in love with it. I looked at Letterboxd after the fact and saw lots of people complaining it was like some MCU writer that did it. I was like, I did not feel that watching it, but that's pretty funny. It's okay. It's not. It's like if it hits Netflix, watch it. I'd say, but like,
Okay.
It's it was somewhat unremarkable, and I'm sure there are better. Like I know there is a way older movie called like The Trials of Nuremberg that's supposed to be fantastic. From like 10 years after it happened. There's better options, or I'd say if you want to see some World War II shit, that Hitler doc on Netflix was pretty solid.
Yeah, the guy that wrote this, he is a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wrote Zodiac for David Fincher.
Yeah,
but he also did like Independence Day Resurgence.
Oh God, what a weird mixed it's
Scream. He's done Scream 6 and I guess Scream 5, the reboot. So like he's all over the place.
And Zodiac, I would credit more to David Fincher than the script, but
sure.
Yeah. Anyways, that's what I've been watching. I mean, big recommend for Ephus and Begonia. Again, I thought was really solid. With I have some reservations about it, and that is I think on Peacock now, so that's easily available to watch.
Easily got it.
All right, Chris, let's talk about some of my favorite movies.
All right.
Let's start with Rounders from 1998.
Okay, I'm ready.
What's the limit here?
Big bet's $20.
Good. Okay. It's 20.
You've seen half the hand. How the hell you betting into us?
We know what we're holding, and we know what you're holding.
The hell you know what we all have.
Well, you were looking for that third 3, but you forgot that Professor Green folded it on 4th Street, and now you're representing that you have it. The DA made his 2 pair, but he knows they're no good here. And Mr. Eisen is just futilely hoping that his queens are going to stand up.
Kiss my
Take it down.
All right, take a seat next to me.
I can't. I don't play cards.
Get out of here.
How can I concentrate with you looking like that?
I'm really late.
Oh, come on. I'll be really quick. You won't feel a thing.
For the last 2 years, Mike McDermott has been doing the sensible thing. But his best friend just got out of jail.
I can't believe you still know someone called Worm.
He's like my brother.
You domesticated yourself for this girl.
And needs someone to lean on.
I need money. I gotta put some scratch together, man.
I consolidated your outstanding debt. 25 grand and still running. What I did was go partners with an old friend of yours.
We do what we used to do, man. You find the games, you scout them, I sit and I mop them up.
Michael McDermott. I knew you'd be back.
Last night, I sat down at that table, and I felt alive. My blood was bubbling, my skin was tingling. I was James Colburn in The Magnificent Seven throwing knives.
Hold on there a second.
Whoa!
The guy's a cheat. Right now, he's ruining your reputation.
If you don't give my money, then you are mine.
I vouched for the wrong guy, so now it's on me.
But I can't stay for this.
For what?
To watch you go all in again.
We can't run from ourselves. Our destiny chooses us.
Deal.
Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Turturro, John Malkovich, Gretchen Mol, Famke Janssen, and Martin Landau. Rounders.
We'll get some of the facts off the top before we get into it. Directed by John Dahl, who I did not realize that. He's a fun genre director. He did a few things in the 90s that were awesome. I think he did The Last Seduction. He did that. I want to say he did that Joyride movie with
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, yeah.
I like that one. It was good enough.
Written by David Levian and Brian Koppelman. Stars Matt Damon and Edward Norton. Blah blah blah. Released September 11th, 1998 in the United States. Budget of $12 million. Box office of $22 million. Did not light the world on fire when it first released in theaters, but it was one of those movies that once it hit the home video market really caught on, and I would say it was responsible for, or at least largely, not all the way, but it was part of what sparked that poker craze in the early 2000s, where they would play poker on ESPN all day, and I would watch. And I think this is the movie that got me into poker. I had played poker beforehand, but it was always 5-card draw. It was never Texas Hold'em, I don't think. And then once this movie came out, every game you went to was Texas Hold'em. And I mean, it's a better game than 5-card draw. But anyways, the premise of this is Matt Damon is, a young law student, and he's, pretty talented poker player who busts out at the beginning of the movie in this match against kind of a mob boss called Teddy KGB, played by John Malkovich.
It's absurd.
I think he loses like 30 grand, right?
25, 30, something like that. It was like all of his money.
And because of that, he's in the doghouse he's in the doghouse with his girlfriend through the whole movie, played by Gretchen Mol, which is funny because I've seen this movie a million times and I swear I thought it was like Michelle Williams, but what do I know?
Yeah, I like when I was like, oh, she looks familiar, and I'm like, I looked her up. I'm like, I don't know who she is.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
She looks like somebody else.
She is, I guess if I would have a complaint about this movie, which I really don't, I think this movie is pretty fucking perfect, is they make her out to be a bit of a pain in the ass, like a rolling pin coming after him. And then, even his buddy at some point says, women are the rake in life. Like,
yeah, well, I think that's more like there's a scene, after he gets back with his buddy, where she's moved out. This is later in the movie, and he's like all very depressed, and it's like, yeah, like he keeps lying to her. He's kind of shitty to her, and like her expectations are like, hey, like you said you weren't gonna continue playing cards because you lost all your money. We're in law school, do that, and he just keeps lying to her. So like everything she does, it like makes sense.
Well, but yeah, I it makes sense. I almost feel like the movie is against her though a little bit, and there is like early on, like the way they depict her a little bit in a way, like early on he like tells her that he went to this law office and it was a bunch of judges playing a game, and he was able to read their hands, and he really impressed all those guys. He might get a job out of that.
Yeah,
and she does not get what he's saying. So it's like she's almost written as kind of like the clueless girlfriend who doesn't understand the game at all. And it's like, dude, he's literally just telling you that like he impressed someone with his poker knowledge. He wasn't playing, and she just like still gives him a hard time about it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so the premise of the movie is, he's on a straight and narrow. He's going to law school. He's working an actual working man job, driving a truck. But then his boy, Worm, played by Edward Norton, gets out of prison. I don't think I ever specified what he was really in there for.
No, I don't think they do.
No. And he goes right back to his old tricks. As soon as, the minute this guy gets out of prison, he wants to find a game. He wants Mike to set him up with money to play a game. He also does not want to play the game straight. He
has a hustle.
Yeah, Mike is totally fine with playing the game straight, and he could take the money off the tourists without even having to cheat because they're so not as advanced as him at the game. You know what I mean? So it's like, why do you don't even have to do that. You don't have to risk the trouble that comes with that.
Right.
But Worm is a guy who can't help himself, which is like another character we're going to talk about tonight. He can't, he's going all over town. He's ripping people off. He's running up debts in Mike's name. Like he's saying Mike, he's taking credits from places. And, oh yeah, Mike vouches for me. He's got me in case I don't pay you back on this.
Which is why, so he does that the first time, at the club with the Famke Jensen, so I get that, right? He runs that up and then he steals the money, pin it against that. But it is weird that, like, I mean, I guess it's all underground, right? It's not legal in any way anyway, because they're running these underground casinos. But it was just like, why did she let him take the extra 2K? And then why are all these other people like, oh yeah, he says Mike was good for it. So
well, what I take it as is they will give you the rope to hang yourself. You know, oh, you don't want to pay the $2,000 now? Okay, well, the juice is running on that, and if you don't, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. To me, it's like, well, so like Mike gave the authorization to, hey, put him on my tab for this.
Yeah.
Like, stake him is actually what he said. Like, stake him with my account. But then when he cashes out, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take all of it. It's like, nah, that 2,000 is Mike's. It's the house's. It's staying here in the account. But they're like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, that's weird. But also, I don't know anything about underground casinos. So
I don't. Yeah, I play garage games with my friends. You know, yeah. I have like been invited to these things, but I never got around to going, and now I don't. I live in the fucking country, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, and so the premise is that this is like right away, Worm gets into trouble. He's owed money that's been running. Juice has been running the whole time he's been in prison, so he owes a bunch of money, and he drags his friend, back into hell with him, and gets them in a very bad situation.
Yeah.
There's so much I love about this movie that I don't even know where to begin, but I guess one thing I would say that is true is this might be one of my most quoted movies. Like, I quote it all the time, and there's people who know I'm quoting it because if you've seen the movie, I will say, it hurts, doesn't it? I say that all the time. That's Teddy KGB.
Yeah.
It's usually Teddy KGB. Actually, it's all Teddy KGB. Yeah, Mr. Son of a Bitch. And then I think it's near the end. He goes, he keeps hanging around. The kid's got alligator blood. And I'll be watching the Bears, and I'll text my friend, the Bears keep hanging around, and he knows exactly what I'm saying because we've both seen the movie a million times. The movie's got I don't usually love voiceover work, but it's got a bunch of voiceover work from Matt Damon. I think it's really good.
So watching this, it starts out with voiceover, and I'm like, Jeff hates voiceover.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it. As you said, Matt Damon cuts in here and there, with a lot of voiceover throughout the entire film. So I was surprised, at how much there was actually.
Yeah, it is. It's, I think as a rule of writing, you want to convey this stuff without having someone tell it to you. You know what I mean? But it just works here. I think Damon gives a very good voiceover performance.
Yeah, that opening kind of voiceover actually helps kind of set the film up too, because he's explaining Texas Hold'em, he's explaining poker, and I think it's useful, especially if you don't know the ins and outs of it all.
Yeah, you know what? It might be kind of a necessity in this film because, again, if you're earlier with the game, you kind of need, you can't just watch someone play cards. I could watch it and understand it, but you're gonna limit your audience a little bit by that without having someone kind of help you along with it. Yeah, there's all sorts of it's really fun too because a lot of it will be he'll be at a table and he'll be like, yeah, these two people right here, they don't know what the hell they just walked in on, and I think they're playing at the Taj Mahal, and he's like, we're all playing against each other, but what these two new people walking in don't know is, yeah, we're playing against each other, but we're really there to take their money.
Yeah.
And there's just a million things like that when he's talking about the tells people have, and they're showing a montage of all of people's tells. I get right away, it kind of sucks you in with the first voiceover where he's like, if you can't spot the sucker in your first half hour at the table, then you are the sucker. That's a great start to a movie. In fact, the whole beginning of the movie is fucking amazing. The poker game between him and Teddy KGB is it's like a shocking hand that he loses. He has I think he has he has a full house, like trip nines over aces. And so he's like, I got this guy in the hook. I'm just getting him to put more in the pot. I'm going to take him. And they flip their cards up, and Teddy KGB has the bigger full house, the aces over nines, and you just see the look on Damon's face, and he's just like, oh fuck, I just lost everything. And what I love about it is like that, and all the poker in the movie, when they actually show you when they show you hands, is realistic. I've lost that loss that Matt Damon has. I've had it happen to me at least a fucking dozen times in my life, where you're just like, all right, I got the full house. I got to go at this. And then when you're playing garage games, like a lot of times the people you're playing are stupid and they're like staying in the hand for absolutely fucking no reason. So you're like, I got the full house, dude. Like, and I've had it at times where I'm like, well, the only thing I have to worry about is if the dude has the bigger full house, like the other like side of this.
Right.
And it happens. It happens. Like, God damn it. What else? Let's do it to touch on in this. Yeah, so he's like, Worm sucks Mike back in. I remember like he drops him off with like $200 to play a game, and Matt Damon's like driving away, and all of a sudden like he stops his car and turns around. I just love that part. Like, there's this guy who like bought all of Worm's debt named Grandma.
Yep, he's like a pimp or something.
Yeah, and like I think he owed money to like all over town or whatever, but like he consolidated it all, and he's now working for Teddy KGB, so like they're in pretty serious trouble. Which is one thing that like I'll say about this, that both this and Uncut Gems, like the first time I saw them, I did not realize how high the stakes were, because like in this movie, I'm like, oh, this Grandma guy is just some guy they came up with. Like, they know him. Like, yeah, he'll like punch him in the stomach. And that's, I think, all the violence you really get from him in the movie is kind of like, he, roughs him up a little bit. And like, you better get that money.
Yeah, yeah.
But at some point, like, Worm, he gets out of Dodge, and he's getting out of Dodge for a reason, because like they're gonna kill him, And that's, again, I just, for whatever reason, the first time watching it, I didn't realize how big the stakes were. And the same thing with Uncut Gems, which really led to my shock at the ending of Uncut Gems. And we'll get into that, like why I didn't think he was in as big trouble in that. But yeah, Worm does a bunch of stupid shit, gets them in more and more debt, and they end up going to like a cop game, a bunch of cops playing.
Yeah, they travel up to like Binghamton or something, and it's like 5 hours away from wherever they are, and it's like, oh, it's municipal workers that pay with their paychecks. Like, we'll be able to take them real easy, and it turns out it's just like all these cops.
Yeah. But like when they pull up in the parking lot, he's like, municipal workers, huh? Like Mike is like, municipal workers, huh? He's like, yeah, right? These guys are fucking stupid. Well, unfortunately, he gets caught base stealing. They beat the shit out of him. They take all their, like, they had built up a stack at this point, right?
Which Mike had said, like, hey, leave me alone. Like, let me play.
Yeah, I could do it. I could take these dumb cops. Yeah.
And yeah, Worm is such an asshole, and he just can't stop himself from doing it.
Yeah. But then he fucks off out of the movie, and Mike is left to deal with the fucking damage, and I think he gets the money from his professor, doesn't he?
Gets some of it.
Some of it.
Yeah.
He scrapes it together.
Yeah.
Well, he scrapes it all. What is he? He owes. Does he owe 30 to them?
He owes
numbers.
He owes 15 to Grandma and KGB. And they had like 5 days to do it. And so like he borrows 10 from his professor at the end. In fact, he goes to this other guy, Kanish, tries to get money from him first.
Thank you.
And Kanish is like I thought that was a great scene too. He's like, there's no point in giving it to you. Like, Like you've fucked yourself. Like me giving you 2,000 isn't putting a dent into your 15. Like it's you need the truck, I'll give you the truck, but like I'm not giving you my money because it's just flushing it down the toilet.
I'm so happy you brought this up. 'Cause I'm just like kind of stumbling over myself with how much I love this movie. But Joey Knish is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's great.
Because one, it's John Turturro, but two, they kind of make fun of him throughout the movie for like he's a guy who sees all the angles, but he could never make a move, and they kind of look down on him for like doing it as a living, right? Like playing it safe, playing the game right, paying the rent, right?
Yep.
And the whole scene, like the scene that you just mentioned, I fucking love with him. I love when he's like, but about the money, Mike, I gotta do this. I gotta say no. Like I just like I love the way some of the lines are written in this movie. I think when he's like when Mike asks him, does he ask him for the 15?
Yeah.
And he goes, he's like, I need 15 grand. He's like, I need a blowjob from Christy Turlington. I don't know who Christy Turlington is. So anyways, he gets a 10 from his professor. He goes to study KGBs to play with the money. He wins enough to pay them back. And then he's like,
and have a little bit extra too. Like
yeah.
Like I think he wins like 25,000 or something like that.
But KGB like is playing mind games with him. He's like, but you still have time. You could let it ride, Mike's like, no, I'm gonna leave. And Teddy KGB's like, it's a fucking joke anyways. I'm paying you with your money. Dude, the finale of this movie is like what really puts it over the top to me. This like final game, and you got like the amazing voice. Like right after that, you get Damon's like, it's true. You can't lose what you don't put in the middle, but you can't win much either. And he decides to let it ride. And like he's playing for his life at this point. It's like really stupid.
Yeah.
But he just kind of feels it this time against Teddy KGB. And as they're playing, he figures out KGB's tell, which he does this little thing where he picks up the Oreos and he twists them. And something about that tells, Mike how to play. At one point, Teddy KGB's laying in a big bet. I think he might be going all in at this point, and he's like splashing the pot, like throwing the chips in. And Mike goes,
"Don't like laying them down."
And Mike tells him, "Don't splash the pot." And he's like, "It's my club. I'll splash the pot whenever the fuck I please." And Mike kind of does what he does at the beginning of the game, like where he slow plays them all the way, where he keeps checking.
She calls him out. He's like, "Oh, this motherfucker always checking."
Yeah. But this time it works because he does have the bigger hand at the end, and like basically Teddy KGB falls for it this time. Teddy KGB does not have the hand. I love too. He's like that. He throws down an ace. He's like, that ace could not have helped you. And he's like, you're right. The ace didn't help me. I flopped the nuts straight. He flips them up. And then, KGB has this freak out. This son of a bitch all night. Check. He tricked me. But then, he has respect today. He's like, pay this man his money. So he turns 10 grand into 60,000 in one night. And he says, we're doing voiceover at the end here. After paying everyone off, I'm right back where I started with 3 stacks of high society. And there's a scene with him going to like say goodbye. They're broken up at this point. And then you see him hop in a cab, and you get your I think a cabbie asks him where he's going, and he's like, Vegas. And then you get your final voiceover where he's like, what do you say? People insist on calling it luck. First prize at the World Series poker is $1 million. Does it have my name on it? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Dude, I love it. It's a great ending. Chris, your first time watching this, lay it on me.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I don't like poker. I don't care about poker.
Mhm.
This was didn't make, but like Matt Damon, everybody here is like engaging
Yeah.
enough that like the story is entertaining, and like I really like Matt Damon's character here. I think the performance he gives is great. Ed Norton's Worm is fucking despicable. I hated him.
I think that
He's very similar to another character we're going to talk about
yeah,
very
yeah.
shortly, but yeah, I absolutely hated him. And like he's the one that keeps getting Mike in trouble. Like Mike's doing the right thing, right? He's just like slowly playing, and yeah, maybe he's not taking that big splash, but
He could have
he's
dug
like,
Worm out of the hole. He could have
yeah,
easily dug Worm
he,
out of the hole,
yep,
and Worm just has to always look for an angle. And Worm explains that to somebody. He's like, "That's how I am. I have to look for that angle." Like, but it's like, why? You're good enough at the game. Like, they're both good enough at the game that you don't need to do that. But he's just
yeah. You could have taken those cops with no problem, got in your 15, probably plus more, gone
yeah.
back, and then and continued to do what you do, like free of the debt you were under. But no, he had to fuck it up, gets the two of them their ass beat, like, and then runs off like, just like, I'm out, goodbye. You should run too. And like I thought that was like, there's an honorable thing in going back and facing your fate and being like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna win this straight, like. And he does. Like I think the final poker matchup where he plays KGB straight up is like, it's super enthralling. It's tense, even though like you kind of expect like he's gonna win,
He's gonna get
but
him this time. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but you don't know how, and like I think it works out real well. Yeah, I like
And you
this
want to see
quite a
Mike
bit.
win. You want to
Yes,
see Mike win. You're just like, God damn
that
it! Like this guy is talented. He's smart. He probably
yeah
deserves to be, a professional player. And
yeah,
he's got a run of bad luck and a bad friend.
and that's what I think separates this from the other movie we're going to talk about is like,
Well, the other movie's about Worm.
yeah, it's like I like Mike, and I wanted him to win, and I'm rooting for him to win. And the other movie, there were different emotions there. So
um, what was I gonna say? I like. I don't think you need to be a poker fanatic to enjoy this movie.
no,
My wife isn't, and she'll quote Teddy KGB all the time. It's just one of those movies. It's a fun movie, whether you're super into poker or not. But I guess what I wanted to ask is like, was it flying over your head what was going on in these hands, or do you understand the game enough that you're like you understood what was going on in the
yeah,
poker
I
hands?
understand it enough. I think that there's part of the voiceover is very telling, and it's like probably why I'm not good at poker is that like, yeah, there's a way to play, right? You need to know the basics of the cards, but it is very much you're not playing the cards, you're playing the people. And if like you can read
Yeah,
the people, you can beat them because you're gonna know when they're lying, you're gonna know when you can back off. And so like I thought that was interesting because he's not playing the cards like yeah, he's getting them, but that's not the interesting part of it.
well, it's,
It's
when
him
you bluff
figuring it out.
somebody, you're
Yeah,
not playing the cards. You're playing them. So
exactly.
that
Yeah.
is an element of it. I do think that this movie puts a little too much stock into tells and this and that because again, at the end of the day, the cards are what the cards are.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you bluff somebody, like you could have nothing, and I've done this before. I have literally nothing, and I could be playing against someone who has like 2 6s, but they're gonna back off if like I've been powerful all night and I got in their head psychologically, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Why is this guy betting so much? I don't want to. I have 2 6s. I'm not gonna fuck with him on this fold, right?" So, but you gotta pick your spots with that. You can't do it the whole game because
Right. You still need to know like is my hand better
yeah,
than what's out there? Because like I do ultimately, if they call me on it, I need to show my cards. Like
yeah.
yeah, so but I thought that was like that was fast. Like, and I think the movie does a good job of kind of impressing that on you and showing you how Mike does it.
Yeah, it doesn't go like again, you could probably watch the movie and not understand. Because again, I think the first time I saw this movie, I don't think I'd ever played Texas Hold'em. So it was teaching me a game I did not know how to play, and I came out of it like, one, loving the movie, and two, wanting to really learn the game. So yeah. Anyways, for me, like I think I said at the end of the last episode, these movies are both 10s for me. This movie's a classic at this point, and yeah, it's a 10. I could watch it every year and have a blast with it. I guess, where do you land?
I'm gonna go at an 8.5. This is a movie I would watch again if like somebody was like, "Hey, you want to watch Rounders?" Like, sure.
Or if you,
I'd
you know
watch
what,
it.
it's a movie if you ever do still flip through channels, which who really does that? But
Right.
it's a type of movie where if you caught it halfway through on cable, you're
you can just leave it on.
in.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
Rounders.
That Rounders.
For our other movie, we have Uncut Gems.
How you doing, Holly? How's it going? Hey, Howard. Put Pesach out. All right, Larry, you're a Jew again. Welcome back. I made a crazy risk, a gamble, and it's about to pay off. So I want the Celtics to cover. I want the Celtics halftime. I want Garnett points and rebounds. What do you know? I don't know. I just know.
Well, I'll tell you what I know. It's the dumbest fucking bet I ever heard of.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
What is that?
I started it.
Are you serious? You're taking my money all over town, placing bets.
I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up.
Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money?
Howard!
Is it too late? I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot. You like to win, right? This is no different than that.
Black Jew power, nigga.
This is my fucking way.
You think I'm stupid, Howard? You and your whole fucking family. I heard you resurface your fucking swimming pool. You know how that makes me feel?
Never
You think your life is more important than my life?
I don't know who said that.
I told you about how things were gonna go. You like the way things are going now?
That's my family. Get the kids out of the house.
You having a good time?
Yes. This is me. This is how I win. KJ, it's game night. You should be stretching out.
What is he, a coach?
Nah, he's just a fucking crazy ass Jew.
Directed by the Safdie brothers, Josh and Benny Safdie. They would go on to like split up after this. I don't know if it's a permanent thing or not. And I think Benny did some acting. He was in Oppenheimer. And he did the Smashing Machine from earlier this year with the Rock.
Yep.
And then Josh has that movie in theaters right now called Marty Supreme, which is supposedly in the same vein as this and supposedly very good. Supposedly the Smashing Machine not very good. I haven't seen it yet. But this was the peak of them working together until if they work together again or not. I don't know what the deal is. It's came out December 13th of 2019. Oh, I should mention it was written by them as well as Ronald Bronstein. It came out December 13th, 2019. I remember seeing it right around Christmas when it came out. It had a budget of $19 million, did a box office of $50 million, so it did well and it was critically acclaimed. I think it's gone on to be regarded as one of the best films of the last 10 years, probably. At least by me, it is, and I'm not alone in that. And what we get here is Adam Sandler as Howard Ratner, who is a New York City jeweler who has a gambling addiction and seemingly has like a chaos addiction kind of tied to that, where like
yes,
he just like always likes to be on the knife's edge, you know, and you kind of feel that from like right from the beginning of the movie where he's walking into his jewelry store and there's like a million conversations happening at once, and you know there's like these two old guys with like long hair and they're balding trying to get money from him. There's these mob guys trying to get money from him. There's people trying to talk to him from 6 different angles. He's got Kevin Garnett showing up in his store, and you're just like, how does this guy live like this at all times? And the way that most people describe this, you know, my wife described it this way, and she does not read critics, but I've heard lots of critics say the same thing, is this is like a 2-hour panic attack. So I guess we'll start there, Chris. Is that how this movie made you feel? Did you feel like you were kind of like on edge for a lot of it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, like I read like there's I'm like reading it now, like oh, it's like they're great at anxiety inducing cinema. And I was like, I was not anxious through this. I think we'll get to maybe why.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I was not. I could see maybe where somebody is, but I was not. No.
I think they do a good job of making it feel chaotic, yes. And I do think that it ratchets up as you get near the end, and it gets kind of crazier and crazier and crazier. And I do think that the finale of this movie, like the last like 30 minutes or so, is like really fantastic. And I am on edge, or I'm at least thrilled by that part of it, even though like I'm watching it now for like the third time, so like I know where it's going, and I'm still like, this is so fucking nuts, the end of this movie. Like, but yeah, the big person he owes money to is his brother-in-law, played by Eric Bogosian. He owes him, I think, $100,000.
Yep.
And his brother-in-law has like hired, you know, these mobsters basically to like rough his brother-in-law up to help get the money back. Simultaneously, you have this plot with this black opal that Adam Sandler has bought. This has an interesting beginning. It starts in like Ethiopia or some shit.
Yeah, that's where the gem comes from.
Yep. Yeah, and you see like the miners find it, and then you like look into the gem itself, and you're seeing the history of the universe, and the next thing you know, you're in Howard's colon. But yeah, Kevin Garnett comes into a shop. He shows him this this opal, and Kevin Garnett wants to buy it, and you know,
offers him $250,000, like,
which is about right.
Immediately. Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not for sale, it's for auction. And you have one of the like, there's lots of memes that came out of this movie, but one of them was Kevin Garnett saying like, why would you show me, like, why the fuck would you show me something if I can't have it?
Yeah.
The God damn it, what team is Kevin Garnett on?
The Celtics.
On the Celtics. They're in the playoffs. He wants the gem because he thinks it'll bring him luck. He's like, let me just hold on to it for the night. And for whatever reason, Howard agrees to this because why not? Why not invite more chaos into your life?
Yeah.
And like right away, you like, I mean, if that wasn't bad enough, you realize how bad off this guy is because he asks for collateral, and you know, Kevin Garnett gives him a championship ring to hold on to, so that you know that we're gonna be all good. And he immediately runs out in the street and pawns it, like,
yep,
like just insanity. And then like, so a lot of the movie is him trying to get the gem back after that because he keeps talking to the I think this guy works for him, Lakeith Stanfield. I think he works for Howard.
Kind of. So what he does, Damani,
he brings people in, like,
yep, yeah, he brings people in to buy jewels from him. And he gets a cut of like the sales. So
But
he's
then
like he's a salesperson basically.
Yeah.
Like,
but Howard is chasing down this guy for like half the movie. Like, you need to get me my gem back, and he keeps brushing him off like a total fucking asshole. Howard, it makes some insane. He's always robbing Peter to pay Paul, and he makes some insane moves where I think he pawns a watch, and he places a humongous bet with that. And the funny thing is like, Howard places 2 big bets in this movie, and they're both right. So he places this big bet that he would have had enough money to pay back his brother-in-law, but his brother-in-law caught wind of it and goes and fucking cancels the bet with the bookie and just takes that money. So now he's back at square one, trying to scrounge his way through again. And then there, near the end of the movie, he goes to the auction with this black opal, and they like assess it for being worth worth $1 to $250 or something,
Yeah, it's like between like $150 and $225 or $230,000. Yeah, it's like
nowhere near.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he thought he was going to get $1 million for it, because I think he did have someone assess it as that. I don't think he's totally making that up, but like, these are the professional people auctioning it, and they're like, yeah, this is what it's worth. So it turns out Kevin Garnett is right on the money. What does Adam Sandler do, or Howard do? He convinces his father-in-law to bid against Kevin Garnett in the auction to raise the price of it up. And what do you think would happen here? Of course, they actually end up winning. Kevin Garnett stops bidding because Kevin Garnett's not a complete idiot.
Well, Kevin Garnett wants to, but he has his financial advisor with him, and she's like, no.
Yeah, we said this is what it would be. Yeah, yeah. So that falls apart. So he just goes back. He gets Kevin Garnett back on the phone, like, dude, I'll sell it to you for whatever, $220, whatever it is. And I'm skipping over a bunch of stuff, which we'll touch on some of this other stuff. I'm just getting the broad strokes of the movie. Kevin Garnett comes back to his jewelry store, and they're talking in the office, and basically setting up, this is, he's gonna get the 220 or 250, whatever it is.
Yep.
And Kevin Garnett's like kind of busting his balls about it, like, dude, you knew it was not worth $1 million,
we asked him how much did you pay for it, and he's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you that. Like, he's like, no, how much? Like, come on, like, the sale's done, and like, I'm not gonna like take the money back if you give me like a low ball number. Like how much is it worth? And he's like, $100,000 is what he paid for it. And Garnett kind of goes off on him, like that. That he's like, fuck these guys over in Ethiopia for this.
Yeah, but I do kind of like get what Howard says. Part of what Howard says after this, where he's like, well, he starts off being like, well, this is what I do. And it's like, that's true of any retailer or anything. It's like, they're not selling it to you for the same prices they bought it. Like,
no, and I mean, that's anything, right? In business is like, I'm going to buy it from you for this, and I'm going to sell it to them for this. And it's
I'm
always
the one
ever escalating.
I'm the one putting in the work, and this is my business, and that's part of why you could just walk into my store and buy it, and you're gonna pay what the market price is. Like, so, like, I get where he starts off with it, and I get where he goes with it, but where he goes with it is like, you see, this is what I do. This is how I win. This is like you in Game 7. Like, this is my Game 7. This is how I win. And then he just gets inspired, and he's like, you know what? Since I know you're going to have this gem, I know that you're going to win tonight. I'm going to bet it all on you. I'm going to bet all this money you just gave me on you. So he's got the money to pay back both, his brother-in-law and basically everyone else around town that he owes money to, except he would not come out really much on top after that, right?
No, he
comes
break
out even. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to let it all ride. And as he's deciding this, the mob guys are breaking into his store, trying to get to him. he hands the bag of money out of the window to his girlfriend, who we have not even touched on yet. And he like sends her off to casino to place a bet. And he locks these fucking mob guys into a little box, like this little entryway box to get into his jewelry store. We have to get buzzed in and out, and watches the game with them there, with everything on the line. And I just think like this whole like ending is just like thrilling. Like just the absurdity of having these guys locked in a box while he watches the game is fucking insane. You have the excitement of the bet itself. You know, this crazy parlay bet where he has to hit like 3 different things. Like I think it's like Kevin Garnett has to hit the tip off.
Yeah.
He has to score like 20 points or get so many rebounds, and I forgot what the third thing is. Or they have to win.
The Celtics have to win. He has to have X amount of points and rebounds, and he had to get the opening tip.
And it's like
that one's nuts. Like
I know. I did not understand the betting the first time I saw this. I still don't bet on sports except out of really friendly, like during the playoffs I'll bet with coworkers. But I don't even do fantasy. Like I don't really bet on sports. And so like I didn't understand what the parlay bets were, and now just from reading stuff and knowledge I like know, and I'm like, this is so nuts. And you're right, like that's the craziest part of it. And Sandler even says it when it happens. He's like, that was the biggest part of it. We got the tip, like it's all gonna fall into place from here. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's running off to the casino while other mobsters are going after her. She runs into some like eccentric millionaire who like on this helicopter ride who's also going to the casino. Who you're like kind of worried about him. Like, could this guy be bad? Is this guy gonna take the money off her? Is he gonna do something bad to her? And yeah, it's just like crazy last kind of half hour. There is a part where this kind of touches on the thing I like about their casting. She's sitting in like the sports book, just watching the game and getting excited about the bet and everything. And there's just like a random like normal like middle-aged dude sitting next to her, and he's like, "Oh, you got the tip. That's good. That's like you're off to the races, And he's just like this nice guy sitting next to her. That guy is not an actor at all. That guy is some guy that was next to the Safdie brothers at a blackjack table. They liked his they liked his vibe. They're like, "Hey, we're shooting tomorrow morning. Would you like to be in a scene in our movie?" And that's I like really love that about them, that they'll put some guy like that, and he comes off as totally natural. Like he's totally good in it.
Yeah.
And like most of the people, like the two like old guys with the long curly hair who are balding, those are like real dudes. Like they like populate their movies with real dude, or like Kevin Garnett. We have The Weeknd in this. We have and they both like have like Kevin Garnett's like kind of a bigger role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has like actual lines.
Yeah. Trying to think, there's someone else too, but they do this with all their movies. I guess they do that with Marty Supreme too, which I think is really cool. Like having faith that like, hey man, anybody can act. It's not like this magic code. But anyways, to get to like the plot at the end of the movie, he ends up winning the bet. He gets it all right. He's all super happy. He's like, "Let's go, guys! Like fucking, let's them out of the box." And they immediately come out and shoot him. And they shoot they don't immediately shoot his brother-in-law, but they do eventually shoot that piece of shit too. And Julia Fox, as the girlfriend, makes off with the money, as far as we could tell. I mean, I don't know what you think. It seems like she gets away with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what happens with her, but like
she gets out of the casino.
Yep, she gets out of the casino with the help of the other guy. And,
yeah.
Yeah, like you ultimately don't know, but like it's hers now, right? 'Cause she's the one that placed the bet, and she's going to go back, and her boyfriend boss is dead. Like
I think she knows enough to like she's pretty savvy in the last like 30, like she knows that like what the situation is. And she gets out of there. Then we cut back to the jewelry store, and they're just like smashing it all up, taking everything, and we kind of zoom in on Howard on the floor with a bullet hole in his face. We go into the bullet hole, and we see the history of the universe in the bullet hole, and cuts to credits. I mean, there's probably a few things I want to touch on in this, but I'll let you touch on anything. What are some things to you that you wanted to talk about in this movie that stood out to you?
First off, I hate Howard. Absolutely hated him. Like, and I think that might be why I wasn't anxious watching it.
Because you
'Cause
didn't care.
I did not care about him at all. Like, I'm like, anything that happens to him, he's kind of deserved. Like when he, like he gets punched in the face like outside the auction and thrown into the fountain. I'm like, yeah, he kind of deserved that shit. He gets chased, like, and this is crazy because like he is constantly such an idiot, and as you said, he just invites chaos at every turn. He's at his daughter's school play, and he walks out. He like says, "Hey, like I want to talk to you guys because I see you're here. Why are you fucking here?" And he goes out and he bites one of the guys and punches him in the face, and then is running through the school like trying to get out of there. They eventually catch up with him, take him for a ride, and strip him naked and toss him in his trunk.
See, that's I think that's part of why I didn't realize the stakes though, because I was like, oh, this is like the worst that they would do to this guy. It's just this, you know.
I didn't realize Arno, the loan shark, was his brother, was family until like, I guess they're at like a dinner or something, like a family dinner, and it's revealed he's there. It's like, oh shit, he's family, like he's fucking with family. So I didn't, and that's the ending is shocking. Absolutely, like when he lets them out and these two goons just come.
So you were not expecting him to do it?
No, because he's family, right? And like, and it worked out. Like he did trap those two idiots, all three of those idiots in the room. But
they could have waited and got the money. Like he would have paid. Like
I think got more. Right?
Do I think Howard would have lived happily ever after ever? I don't.
Absolutely not.
I think Howard would have fucked shit up again. But he could have. They could have accepted that he locked them in the box. They could have got paid off. He could have been out of that situation. Like he did win.
Yeah. Which is also why it's like, what the fuck just happened? Because these two goons are like,
as soon as he locked them in the box, he was dead.
Yeah.
They didn't care anymore. They were just gonna rob the store. They were done with it, and they were done with the brother too.
Yeah, it's I guess I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize either the first time
that they were hired like that. I thought they kind of worked for him, but like they really are just loose cannons that Arno hired.
I never got the impression that they work for him. I got the impression that like he had some sort of mob connection and asked them to help him out, like that type of thing. So, in Howard's defense, it's not really in his defense, but like the first time I watched this, I did not think Howard was the biggest piece of shit. I guess I maybe still don't. I think his brother-in-law is the biggest piece of shit. Like I just think if you're gonna lend money to family, you gotta accept that you might not get it back, and that you don't send fucking people who will kill people to go after. Like, and he's just so smug. Like even when they're at the dinner, like he won't say a word to Howard. He's just like staring at him like a piece of shit. Which I get it. But I looked at him like the bigger villain when I saw it. I also fucking hated Keith Stanfield in this because like I hate that type
Maddie.
I hate the type of person that brushes you off like that. Like, you have a very urgent situation that you need taken care of, and they're like, "Chill, bro, chill." And I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not chilling. I need you to fucking listen to me." Like, I hate that type of personality. He fucking drove me crazy, dude. So those two like made it worse. Now, against Howard, the thing I did not notice the first time that I did notice this time is that like on top of his like flaws, like which you could argue are like addictions, and so maybe not entirely his fault, right?
Right.
Is he's kind of a fucking dickhead. Like,
yes,
he is one kind of separated from his wife and living in his own apartment. Two, he kind of gets violent with his girlfriend at one point, which I did not remember. Like, I kind of get it. Like, I get I would also be mad if my girlfriend fucked the weekend in a bathroom in a club. I would be mad. But he's like violent towards her like days after that. Like he throws a drink in her face or something, right?
Yep.
And like that was like this time I was like, ooh, that kind of like I get it. Like they're not trying to make him. They're trying to show a guy who's like completely fucking off the rails. But like,
yeah, he's not as sympathetic. He's not painted as a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
He's not like
he's painted as like a pathetic character, if anything. So like I think the pathetic element made me just kind of feel bad for him the first time I saw it. I still ultimately I don't need to like the guy because the fun of this movie is like the thrill ride that it is. Like how it's just like kind of keeps ratcheting it up and going crazier. Like and it's kind of fun to watch a total fuck up go through life and see what more like horrible mistakes they're gonna make. But yeah, I think any other like scenes or moments that you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, so I guess I didn't catch that. I mean, I did catch that he wasn't getting along with his wife, but I didn't catch that they were separated and that I didn't think he was living in the apartment. I thought she was living in the apartment, like his girlfriend, and that he was
It's his own apartment. Like, because remember, like he brings his kids there at one point, but he does not want his kids to go in there to see the place.
Right.
Like he makes the kid go take a piss in the
And
neighbor's
the neighbors,
house.
yeah.
And then like, and then the kid's like, "Oh, it said that you got some like hot girl coming." Like, so it's his apartment. But yeah, like they're separated, and they're like thinking about calling it quits for sure. The best is when he breaks up with his girlfriend and immediately goes back to his wife.
Yep.
And it's like, I was thinking maybe we could get back together, and she's just like, "You look at your stupid fucking face."
Yeah, that was. I think that was like my favorite scene in it. Is like he's broken up with,
just not
with
having
his
it.
girlfriend. He's like goes to this family party, and his wife is there in her bar mitzvah dress. Like their kids had like got her to put it back on, and it still fits her somehow. And he goes in, he's like trying to like smooth talk her, just like, "You are the most annoying man on the earth." And
Doesn't
then,
she say something about his face though? Like, look at your stupid fucking face.
I don't want to look at your stupid fucking face. Like, it's like, yes, she understands where I'm like, I am with her right now. I find him fucking insufferable. In fact, I think she's like, she's underselling how annoying he is. Yeah, absolutely. Like, so yeah, I guess they're things that like I miss. Just
It's a dense.
There's
movie.
a lot going on.
It's very dense, and it's over 2 hours and it's still dense. It's kind of the stuff happening every minute. There's one or two other things I want to touch on. Oh, one thing I love about it is how it's a period piece. Like you look at their phones. They're like, this takes place in 2012. And it's messing with real history. I love that too about it. Like, that it's using like the actual, playoffs and stuff. Yeah. Although I think it adds in a scene where Kevin Garnett is like talking to a reporter after he wins. He's like, "I knew the gem would fucking do it." That can't be from real life, and it is even more amazing.
There's a scene at halftime of that game 7. He's like rubbing the rock. Like, he like takes it out and he's like petting it. What the fuck is going on?
So I think that's like a neat element of it, like especially if you're like a fan of sport, not just a fan of sports history, but also like doing a period piece about a very specific like recent year and trying to like match things up right with that. And I guess the last thing I would want to touch on is the score. What the fuck did you think of the score of this movie?
I honestly don't remember.
The weird spacey, like
that's probably why it's like very ambient, and outside of like when The Weeknd was singing, like I don't really remember. Nothing like stood out to me as like.
I think the beginning and the end are very like, especially like the last 5 minutes. Like it sounds like, I think I said this to you when I first saw it. It's like I feel like I'm about to go on Space Mountain. Like it doesn't like.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
It doesn't like match
No, well, the opening and closing are very weird, right? Like
Yeah.
So
And the
yeah,
music is like that too. And so it's like, I don't know. I think that's, I actually like the score a lot. I would not, like, if someone told me, like, if you watch this, you're like, the music does not fit what's going on in the movie, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I like the music still. I think it's cool. I think it gives the movie like a certain personality. Um, but yeah, one other thing that just came to mind, but it already slipped out of my mind. I guess I'll just have to let it go. Um, yeah, I'm a big fan of this movie. Like, it's I guess one of the best movies of like literally like the last 10 years. Not a likable guy, but like incredible filmmaking, and it does a lot of like little specific things that I think are neat. And I think what always puts it over the top for me is that insane ending where he's got those guys in a box watching him watch basketball. It's so like fucking insane, but he just seems completely unaware of how insane it is because he keeps talking all the time, like, "Oh yeah, we got it, guys!" Like,
when I think he's on like the same wavelength as like we are, right? Like, there's no danger to him. Like, he locked his brother-in-law in there, and if they win, right? Like, he's going to give them the money,
yeah,
everything's going to work out. And if he doesn't, they don't. But his brother-in-law is going to like rough him up a little bit. But that's it. Like,
yeah. What do you make of as you said, the beginning of it are very weird. What do you make of like it going into the bullet hole on his face and seeing the universe at the end? Like, you
I mean,
make anything of that, or are you just like, that's weird?
I mean, it is weird, but it was a nice like kind of like tie the loop back. Like that's how we started. Now we're gonna, end this kind of the same way.
I think
Like,
it's also like it's sort of a theme running through the movie because like Kevin Garnett wants that opal because he thinks he can see the universe in it. And I think it's like him, like Kevin Garnett and Howard Ratner are like people that are like seeking transcendence.
yeah.
And at the end, Sandler gets his transcendence. He just gets it the way we all do, by dying. Like, that's one way to reach that next plane is by leaving this plane.
Yep, he got it abruptly when he opened that door.
And he also died at the happiest moment of his life. Like, he's like, his corpse on the ground is smiling, which I always thought was an interesting touch to the movie.
Well,
anyways,
he's like, his hands are up in the air when he's like, because he's celebrating. And
yeah,
he
he's
opens
like,
that door. He's like, we did it. And
he died happy. Yeah.
Yep.
I love the movie. It's 10 for me. I'll let you give your final thoughts, and we'll try to figure out which one should win this one.
It's. I think that Adam Sandler gives fucking a great performance here. I think the directing is very good. I don't love it. I probably wouldn't watch this one ever again.
Oh, really? Wow.
Like it is. I mean, I don't care about sports betting, and I don't care to watch Howard Ratner ruin his life again. Like, I could see where you're coming from with it. That why you love it. I think it is very well made. I think Sandler is super impressive in this film because it is super against type for him. He's very impressive, I think, and with his performance here. But it's a little bit less than Rounders for me. I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay. I will just say this about Sandler's performance, and I've always said this, like, his performance is good, I think, like, but it's not why I like the movie. It's the reason I like the movie is the movie. Like, he's just a part of it. Like, he's good in it. And I think that the Safdie brothers, they do kind of what Paul Thomas Anderson did in Punch Drunk Love with Sandler, where it's like they write a character that plays to his strengths. Like, so he has like these little outbursts where he's like screaming, but here it's played dramatically instead of like, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
But which is why I'm all the more impressed by Sandler in like that new movie Jay Kelly, because he's doing none of that shit. He's doing none of the Sandlerisms. He doesn't scream once. He fucking just like breaks down crying like, I need this job. And it's like, damn, dude, like I didn't know that, like Like, I thought the dimensions I saw from him here, I've seen from him. This is just done dramatically, and I thought he's very good in it. But again, like when I see something like Jake Kelly, I'm like, oh, this guy could actually do it all. Like he's actually really good. All right, so that leaves it at we got choose. You're leaning towards Rounders, obviously.
Yep.
I did throw out a poll. It came out 50-50. I mean, it only got a couple votes, but it came out 50-50. And for me, it's like here's how I put it. I think Uncut Gems is the better film. It's the better made film. It's the more impressive film. I think it will have a more significant place in film history. That said, Rounders is the film I love more, and I'm going with my heart. So I think.
Yeah. I mean that can happen, right? Like where this is more relevant to the art form. This is more relevant culturally, whatever. But this is more watchable. I like this one more. I think that's where I'm at with Rounders. Like I enjoy it. I would watch it again, and I don't care about sports betting or poker, but I would watch the poker movie again.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you I'm glad you made it through these two. I was going on a limb here doing some like completely non-horror stuff, but I thought these are both real fun movies. I wanted you to see them. So I'm happy we did it, and congrats to Rounders for still being the king. What are we doing for February?
So there's a movie coming out tomorrow, I believe, called Primal. Which
Primate.
Is Primate, yeah, it's the chimp movie.
Okay.
And so that inspired me to be like, yeah, let's go back to some animals. Let's do some animal horror, but big animal horror. And we're going back to late 90s with 1997's Anaconda and 1999's Lake Placid. So with giant sharks, giant snakes, and giant crocs.
Yeah, we've not done those movies.
And I
thought you were asking before we started recording.
Yeah, well, I was like, have we done Lake Placid? Because I know we did a Crawl, so I didn't know if I had paired it with that. But no, we have not done either one of these. So yes, Anaconda, which just got a remake, kind of a reboot. I don't know, like, but not in the same vein as the original movie. And Lake Placid, which is a giant crocodile.
So we're gonna do all three of these. What are we doing?
No, we're doing Anaconda.
Okay.
1997 and Lake Placid 1999. Okay. But I was inspired by Primate coming out, which I am going to go see this weekend.
You know what? I think you may have inspired a future. We could do. I shouldn't give away my ideas, but we could do. What should we call it? Primate versus Monkey Shines or something.
That could work too. Yeah.
In a future episode.
I was like, I'm not sure how long Primate's going to be in theaters. You never know with early January movies, but it was like, is it going to be something Jeff's going to be able to see? And then what do we pair it with? So
my coworker saw it at what's the AMC screen unseen or whatever. Like,
yeah, where it's like you pay and you get to see a movie that you don't know what it is.
Yeah, he hated it, and I'm like, it's probably good then. No,
I mean,
it's getting good reviews. I thought right?
It's reviewing well, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. We'll see. I mean,
he was just like stupidest movie I've ever seen. I'm like, all right, if it's that stupid, first off, I don't expect a lot of it out of it. Like it just fun to me. You know what I mean? But then like I'm just like, I don't know what you expected out of like people have a pet chimp and it goes crazy. Like if it delivers on that. You know what was interesting too? And then he goes to me. He's like, "It was the director of Welcome to Raccoon City." I was like, "Okay, well, I see where you're going with this. It probably is bad." But then I looked at his filmography, and he's another one of those all over the place guys. Like, he did Return to Raccoon City, which I haven't seen, but you saw and said it's terrible, right?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
But he also did The Strangers Pray at Night, which I always go on about how much I fucking love it. So I've never
Yeah,
seen the 47 Meters Down movies.
They're mediocre shark movies. The
Okay,
second
so
one's
he's mostly
okay.
mediocre.
But yeah, he's like he did a short in VHS '99. I don't know
Which we
which
liked, I
one.
think.
Yeah, like
I mean, we liked the
yeah,
those recent VHS.
overall. It was, so yeah, I don't know. It's reviewing well. I'm kind of into it.
It's an 89-minute killer monkey movie. I'm
Right.
yeah.
Like what are you? Is it fun? Is the chimp gonna rip some skin off people because they can do that? Like
He did say it had pretty impressive gore, and I'm like, okay, then, dude, that's you got what you bought the ticket.
that is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a monkey to rip some people apart. But yeah, so Lake Placid, Anaconda. Anaconda is on Netflix. So easy to watch if you have that. Lake Placid, it is switching. Currently, it is the last day on Fubo. So I assume that tomorrow it'll show up someplace else.
It'll be on Tubi.
Yeah, probably. That's where I watched Rounders at. It was on Tubi.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've seen either of these movies all the way through.
Okay.
So
I have. It's been a long time since I've seen Anaconda, though. I bet that snake looks horrible.
I know, it's gonna be fantastic. All right, well, until next time, thanks for listening, and yeah, we'll be back.